PSG 4, embarrassing FC nil. And it didn't take that much time for Real Madrid to suffer a heavy loss and an embarrassing one under Xabi Alonso. What, it took like 5 games in total, something like that they have played in the World Cup so far. And everyone was praising Real Madrid for beating the likes of Salzburg and Pachuca or a Juventus team that are going through a major transitional phase because they are ready to sell like 12 players and they are going to do a full roster rework. So it's not like their team is stable. And then they beat Dortmund in a narrow win, 3-2, where they almost bottled a secure win by playing like crap in the last few minutes, right? And if it wasn't for Courtois, it would be a draw, possibly extra time and penalties. So you can make the argument that their first real test, their first big team that they're going to measure up against is the French baguettes, right? PSG. And when Real Madrid were put to the test, they couldn't do anything. They didn't live up to the expectations. They couldn't create any chance. They were getting absolutely dominated. It wasn't even funny. It was, a training session. It was a bloodbath for PSG. Even though I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm not going to try to make fun of Real Madrid fans or Real Madrid players, right? But let's be 100% real and honest about what happened to the game. Throughout the whole game, there wasn't a split second, there wasn't a single moment where Real Madrid looked like they were competing in equal terms, let alone playing better than PSG. PSG were better throughout the whole game. They were dominating possession. They were dominating Real Madrid in general. And if you take a look at the stats for the game, even though, stats don't always tell the whole story, it's a good indicator of what happened to the game. Usually, these kinds of stats you will expect to see in a game where a big club plays against a much weaker side, right? If you take a look at chances created, shots on goal, passes complete, even shots on goal, you will expect that PSG weren't playing against Real Madrid, but rather a much weaker side, possibly a really mediocre team. Now, the circus started early on at around 5th minute when Raul Asensio completely misjudges Dembele's position. Dembele then steals the ball and Fabiano Ruiz opens the score. And then you're like, whatever, mistakes happen all the time in football. It was a silly, sloppy mistake, right? It can happen. But after 5 minutes, you see Rudiger losing a single control, right? And it looked like he tripped in his own flip-flops. Dembele then steals the ball and he scores a goal to make it 2-0. But you need to have some kind of sympathy for Xabi Alonso, right? Because let's say you're Xabi Alonso and you see your two defenders committing two stupid mistakes in the span of 5 minutes. You are already 2-0 down in the first 10. And you're wondering, like, the fuck am I doing now? I had my game plans, I had my tactics set up, and now what am I supposed to do, right? And you could see the Real Madrid players like switching off immediately after the second goal. They were like, fuck this, man, let's just go home, let's go back to Madrid. And I know there's some valid arguments to be made that, new coach, it's going to take some time until the Real Madrid players adapt to the play style and all of this, right? And PSG played together last season, they won everything, so they understand each other, chemistry, tactics, plans, and so on and so forth, right? But the thing is, no matter who coaches Real Madrid, and I know that Carlo Ancelotti got all the blame last season, if the mentality of some players doesn't change, Real Madrid isn't going to change as well. And even if Raul and Rudiger hadn't committed these stupid mistakes, right, that both led to a goal, the match will still be the same because PSG were completely dominating Real Madrid, and PSG were actually merciful because Luis Enrique made early subs around the 60th minute, where he subbed off Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, and then a couple of other players because he wanted them to be rested for the final against Chelsea, right? So if anything, PSG were merciful. Now, before I end the video, I really want to talk about the poor baguette called Kylian Mbappe, right? Because this guy is legit cursed. He announced that he's joining Real Madrid 2 days after Madrid won the Champions League, and since then he hasn't won fuck all. He hasn't won any trophies. And I know some people say he won the Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup, but let's be real, man. These are considered big trophies or major trophies. PSG, on the other hand, has won every cup under the sun without Kylian Mbappe. And now PSG beat Kylian's Real Madrid easily 4-0. So it's evident that PSG never needed Kylian Mbappe, and it's a good proof you know that no player is bigger than the club. Anyway, guys, please let me know if Xabi Alonso needs to be sacked and maybe it's the new coach that transforms Real Madrid yet again. Do you think Real Madrid played good? Do you think Real Madrid's future is ominous? Please let me know in the comments down below.